Are you leaving money on the table by trying to do everything yourself? Whether you're a DIYer, a collaborator, or a delegator, the right strategy can make or break your financial future. In this video today, I'm teaming up with wealth advisor Peter to reveal why working with a financial expert isn't just an expense, it's an investment that pays off. So, as y'all know, I do talk a lot about self directing your money, but I know that not everyone wants to self direct. I know everyone doesn't want to take the time and the energy to go ahead and start doing self directing. And that is why I am teaming up with Pete here. And this is for the people who want to have someone manage their money. They don't want to try to invest their own money. So, Peter, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, thanks so much, Kristen. Appreciate you. Thanks for letting me be here and having this conversation. This will be fun.
Yeah.
For folks who don't know, this is our first one. So if we
Yes.
seem a little rough around the edges, well, it's because we are. I'm Peter Catalano. I've been a financial advisor, wealth manager, financial planner, whatever you want to call me. By the way, it's a marketing term. So when you hear wealth advisor, they're doing financial planning. So if you hear financial planning, they're doing wealth advisor. Marketing term came on to play about 1995, and it was, you know, I my just share with you real quick that I envision, a bunch of people sitting around a conference table one day saying, "How can we capture, more clients? How can we sound, how can we make our business sound more sexy?" And somebody blurted out wealth advisor, and they all went, "Duh," and now everybody's a wealth advisor. But that's so I've been doing this for a lot of years, a lot of experience. I'm an insurance agent. I'm a registered investment advisor. I do financial planning, however you want to call it. I do it all. So. But today we get to talk about what it's like to collaborate, right? Kristen, is that what
Yeah.
we'll focus on today?
Yeah. So we're gonna be coming probably to do these like once a month. We have like all kinds of different topics to come talk with you about because we got talking last week and we share the same philosophy on so many items,
Mhm.
and not everyone can be an expert in everything. And there's a lot of things that I do, um, but I can't do everything. And I have to send my clients, I have to collaborate with other professionals to be able to send my clients to.
Sure.
And Peter, go ahead and explain
The
the
concept?
yeah,
Yeah, so it's really great. First of all, let's look at how I identify the three types of clients. There's the do-it-yourselfer, as Kristen said in the beginning, the DIYer, the collaborator, and the delegator. And Kristen, you've talked a lot about doing it yourself, right? Is it fair to
yes.
just go ahead and say it here? You like doing the research. You look at fees, you look at returns. You like digging into.
I'm a nerd like that.
I'm a
Yes.
nerd. You're the nerd like that. I love it. And there's people out there that are just like you, Kristen. They love to do it themselves, but not everybody does. And the do-it-yourselfer, quite honestly, you know, why hire? Why pay somebody else to do the work that you can do? If you like doing the research, if you like doing the work, heck, if you like, to build a deck, go to Home Depot and buy the wood and build the deck. I mean, you don't necessarily need to hire somebody to do it. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So it's kind of, crosses all over, right? But when it comes to those folks out there who are listening, who are the delegators, the delegators are the ones who are okay with saying, look, I want somebody to help me do this, right? I'm a delegator. I'm not going to build a deck out. I probably could. I think I know how to build a deck out back, but I'm just not going to do it. I would prefer to focus my time
Your
on,
time is spent better doing what you do, growing
yeah,
your
right.
money. Yes.
Right. Let me just make my money doing this, and I'm happy to pay somebody else and bless them and give them the money. That's great. So for those folks that are out there, are the delegators. Those are the ones we're really speaking to today.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So you asked real quick, and we'll kind of go back and forth here some more on what does collaboration really mean. So what I've discovered in my industry is there's a lot of my peers, really good people, and they follow the money. They pretty much advise on what they get paid on, which makes sense, right? If I get paid to build a deck, I'm going to build a deck. If I get paid to manage money, I'm going to manage money. And when if they identify something else that should be done, well, they kind of refer you. Oh, here, go call so and so and have them do it, and we're done. I'm managing the money,
Hmm.
which is great. But my experience has been that not everybody gets everything done. Would you say that works in your world as
Yeah.
well?
So when I meet with people for the comprehensive consultation, I give them an action list of say 10, 15 things of these are things that we can do. If you implement them correctly, it will save you X amount on taxes. And then I also present them with a blueprint of here you are now. If we do everything on the list, you'll have this is what your life will look like in say a year from now. And I tell them if you want to take that action list and go implement it yourself, you can. However, the majority of people, they need someone to hold their hand to make sure that that action list gets done, because otherwise you're going to be here a year from now and none of that stuff's going to be done unless you're actually working with an expert who helps you and holds you accountable. And if I need, like, for instance, if I need to get on the meeting with the lawyer with you, I will get on the meeting with the lawyer
Mhm,
with you. And that way, a lot of times I can get the message across of what we need to do for the client a lot quicker, and we can get it done right the first time instead of the say the client and the lawyer, because a lot of times we need to send a client to a lawyer to make sure
mhm,
their business is set up properly or their estate's done. And it could be a lot of back and forth and it could take months.
mhm.
Whereas if I'm jumping into the scheme of things, it gets done, we get to check it off the list, and you're consolidating the amount of money that you're paying because, or you're saving the amount of money that you're paying because
Yeah,
it's not like meeting after meeting after meeting with the
right.
lawyer going over the same stuff and back and forth.
Right, right. And that's pretty much with everybody. I like the way you say that. I too have had the experience over the years where I've given people the checklist and they just don't get it done
Yep.
for whatever reason. Nothing wrong, nothing bad. They're good people.
Everyone's busy.
Yeah, everyone's got a lot of stuff to do, right? But I found that when I go into the collaboration, when the clients hire me at the level, all right, it's multiple levels, right? When a client hires me and says, Pete, I want to delegate and I want you to just tell me what we need to do. Well, great. Give me permission to talk to Kristen, please. All
Yep.
right. Give me permission. Tell Kristen it's okay to be upfront and honest with me about your finances that she's working on. So now her and I can have a peer-to-peer, profession to a professional conversation, which usually goes a lot quicker in my experience than when the
Hmm.
client tries to explain what we're trying to tell them.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of times they didn't understand it. And then emails are having to go back and forth to try to verify what the heck the trying to tell me.
That's right. I've
Yep.
even had a situation where, the telephone effect, if you will, where I was talking directly with an attorney, and the attorney had to convey the message to the paralegal who was actually writing the agreement, and he didn't convey it correctly.
Hmm.
And what was challenging is that paralegal then released the document, trust in this case, to the client, and it wasn't accurate. And what happened, the client ended up coming back to me and said,
Mm,
"What's going on here? This isn't what we discussed." And I had to go to the attorney and say, in the future renditions, please send them to me first so that I can review to make sure it's
yeah.
what we actually discussed before it went to the client. And couple things there. One, that client was questioning if that attorney was really doing their work. Are they really good at what they do? This is what we talked about. You didn't, I mean, it's black and white.
Yeah.
And it costs me extra time because now I've got to go back into the loop, more questions. The client had to spend more time on it. It wasn't valuable at all. And so that's why I love the idea that you and I can just get on the phone or drop out an email and say, hey, spoke to client so and so. I'm thinking about as a financial advisor, I'm thinking about, well, take one of your videos. We're comparing the 529 to the Coverdale. I know how you feel
Yeah.
about the 529, but let's at least have a conversation to see if it could be a fit for them.
Yeah.
And if not, okay, you and I will agree. And now mom and dad are agreeing for the client.
Yeah.
Okay? We're coming at it from a unified front. And the client can rest assured that we're catching things they're not going to see.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, you're absolutely right. It saves them money.
It really does.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you're going to pay you, they're going to pay me. I don't work for free. All
Nope.
right. No one does. But in the long run, we're
Yeah.
going to end up saving probably hundreds of thousands, or depending on your asset size, even millions. I mean, you could imagine, I've had this situation where a client's worth, let's say 5 million. and they really didn't set up their estate planning correctly because they really didn't have communication between all the subject matter experts.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? I don't know if you've run across that yet, but I have in my 30 years. I've seen it and I'm like, wait, whoa, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen one document as speaking on estate planning. I've seen one document where they cut out one of the sons completely. So I went to the client and I said, just out of curiosity, I was unaware as your advisor that you wanted the son cut out of the will. And they go,
Did
oh,
you
no,
really
no,
want the
no.
black sheep out of the will,
Yeah,
or?
exactly. Right. I'm like, what happened here? Right. And they're like, no, 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 no. We didn't mean to cut him out. We wanted to do X, Y, Z. And I got it. I said, unfortunately, your attorney worded it that this cuts it out. We need to talk to that attorney. And that's what
Yeah.
got me actually on this whole process. Maybe I should be talking to the attorney first.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, collaboration I think is key in having a real sound and cost effective financial planning.
Exactly. So I know we have talked about doing financial planning on here. Like if anyone needs someone to manage their money, like you are a really great resource for them. But we've also talked about things that you do like life insurance and buy sell agreements. Do you want to talk about any of those today?
Wow, we could divide these topics up and have great conversations for hour on end. So
Okay, we'll save them for future then.
yeah, let me maybe share this idea. I see things where there's 5 areas that in the planning that I work on: cash flow, investments, insurances, legal, and tax.
Okay.
And I am the collaborator between all 5 of them. There's a few things that I do myself. I admit I do life insurance, I do annuities, and that's specialty that I have. I do asset management, and those are the things I predominantly. And then the financial planning, I have software that does planning. Some of this I outsource directly internally. Some of it I do. But the
Yeah.
tax, I collaborate. The legal, I collaborate. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a tax professional like you. I collaborate it. And
Yeah.
so I want to make sure that we're doing what I know from a financial planning standpoint needs to be done. For example, self-employed, right? You got a self-employed client out there. What are you doing every quarter?
Should be sending an estimated quarterly tax payments.
Should be, right? Are
Yep.
they getting done or not? We don't know. Sometimes the client does, forgets. Sometimes the tax professional forgets to send it over. But
Or
I like to
sometimes the
just
tax professional tells them and then the client doesn't send it in.
and the client still doesn't do it, right? Right. And so I like to just, have that conversation. Hey, Kristen, where we are from a quarterly estimate, do we need to look at what's been done this quarter and or do we just base it on the end of year last year? You tell me, you're the expert. But now I can always get back to the client. I've also got it on my punch list. Hey, did
Perfect.
you did you send this over? All right. Hey, I talked to Kristen. Here's what she said. We are expecting that you have done this. Have you done it? So
Yeah.
that's one of the advantages to having the collaborator. And then I think you had mentioned buy sell.
Yes.
So on the legal side, right, there's the fifth item and there's legal, right?
Yeah.
And no particular order. Right. Let's have a conversation with the attorney. What do we need here? All right. Do we have a partnership? Do we have an agreement in place to ensure the continuation and succession of the business in the event one of the partners dies?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, I love those conversations. I love having the initial with the client. Where are we at? What's going on? I'm looking at the whole financial plan. I'm collaborating with you, and now I'm collaborating with the attorney. Hey, Mr. and Miss Attorney, here's what I got. What's your initial thought? Then we go back to the client. Hey, same as with you, Mr. and Miss Attorney and I have had this conversation. This is important for you. We need to get you connected. And
Yeah.
rest assured, we're going to stay in communication. All right. When it comes to buy self funding, I have one of my favorite stories. True story. Is I was working with a client and they were dragging their feet and getting their estate done. For whatever reason, I wasn't, they just kept putting me off on getting their estate done. That's okay. I drip. I just stayed on them. All right.
Yep.
And then one day I asked them about their business partner. They're in real estate. They do heavy real estate.
Okay.
And I asked them about their business partner, and I said, if that partner dies, how comfortable are you being in business with his wife? And I kid you not, yeah, I kid you not. My client's exact words were, "Well, that woman's fat, blah blah crazy. I could never be in business with her." I said, "Well, he dies, she's your new business partner."
Yep.
Estate plan was done the next week.
Yeah. That's a really great way to word it.
Yeah, it was done. We had the distribution, the medical directives, the power of attorneys. We had trust built in there, and we had the buy sell complete. And then when it comes to buy
Perfect.
sell, that's great all on the legal side. But then I stepped in now on the financial side and said, insurance side, and said, now
Yeah.
we need to buy life insurance cross purchase on the two of them.
Yep.
Because even though we have this agreement that obligates each other, now the question was, what would happen if he died today? Do you have enough client funds equal to whatever formula we're using
Yep.
to pay that spouse off according to the agreement? Well,
Yeah.
the cheapest funds you can get in that arrangement are with life insurance. You can't
Yep.
find a cheaper way to fund a buyout than using a life insurance policy, because
Yeah.
it'll always be less dollars put in than what you get out of it. And it's
That's perfect.
instantaneous.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, that's the kind of work, this is what we should be doing for our clients.
All right. So you've got a little bit of a taste of what it's like if you're a client of mine and I'm sending you over to Pete, or if you are a client of Pete's and he's going to send you over to me, and what it looks like how we collaborate, and like I said before, like we are both the quarterback for our clients. We can't be the expert in everything. We do overlap a little bit, and we're going to collaborate with other professionals in the areas that you need help. So we are going to be doing this once a month. Like, what should we talk about next, Pete?
That's a great question. I would, boy, we could talk about fees. I know that's a topic
Okay.
you like to talk about. I like to relate fees and rate of return,
Okay.
on portfolios. We can talk about, oh gosh, so many different things. Cash
Like the
flow.
the Roth, cash
We can talk
flow,
about
Roth.
Roth. We can talk about what are some of the now we're not attorneys, we collaborate with the attorney. We
Yeah.
can talk about some of the legal aspects of the planning from our layman perspective. I just think there's a lot of people that are out there who are looking for somebody they can know, like, and trust and
Hmm.
delegate these issues to. And
Exactly.
hopefully today was a good starting point for them to
I hope
see
so.
delegation, you know, and collaboration.
Yeah. So if you like, these will be topics that we're going to put on the whiteboard to remember that we want to talk about once a month. But if you have any other topics that you want to talk about, go ahead and
Mhm.
put them down in the chat, the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
Please
All right.
do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, Kristen.